All right, here we go. All right, no, there's in the paint here. Krizmanic in his new haircut, looking like fucking Wolverine. What's up, buddy?
Doing great.
Zack will be here momentarily as soon as he gets home from work. We gotta start now though, because I gotta get another recording in the next half an hour. So I'm trying to cram on my shit now while I can. The joys of podcasting in 2022. I love it. It's fucking making content. It's great. It's awesome. You know. By the way, if I look scary, my eyes look scary. I've had a bad allergy attack this week. I had a really bad one on my birthday on Sunday, and it's been a rough week. So if I look a little swollen here, I apologize for scaring the viewers here on the podcast. So, this is gonna be really a quick one. Honestly, I just want to review the four. It's kind of cool because like tonight there's no games on whatsoever. So all four series team locations for game 3 starting tomorrow and then Saturday. So it's actually a good time to check in and see where we're at in the series. We have a chance to do a podcast on Tuesday, but in retrospect, this actually works out well for us. So which one do you want to start first on? Which series do you want to start off with?
First off, do you like the way the NBA does it? A day between each game, 2 for travel.
I don't mind it. Like everybody complains about like how they stretch out the postseason and stuff, but honestly, I don't care because honestly,
like the NHL always starts after and always finishes before. So they play every single night, and then you get one day off for travel.
Oh, Zack said, hold on. He goes, I'm almost home. I'll join in a couple minutes. Correct you, dumbasses.
But I mean, if you want to start with the series, I guess we could start like Phoenix and Dallas.
Yeah. 2-0. Phoenix up. You know, Phoenix is just tough, man. I mean, I think the one thing I want to know is on the Dallas end is like Luka's really, really good. Obviously, he's fantastic, one of the best players in the league. But who do you put next to him? Like, what starter can you see out there that you can put next to him? Because he clearly needs another horse.
Like you want to say probably some sort of big, but then these days anyone that crowds the paint is looked at as hindering the wide open team. So I have no clue.
Right.
It's just tough when you have guys who are main ball handlers to try to put someone in to seamlessly share the limelight. I mean, luckily Luka's good enough as a shooter that he can go out there and not have the ball in his hands and play off the ball as well. So, but I mean, you could just see how diminished Jalen Brunson's been since Luka's been back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's been an absolute nobody again. So
Luka's he's kind of like James Harden in a way, like very ball dominant to the point where he may stunt to offense at times. I mean, obviously you want him to be a little more of a facilitator if possible, but you know, I don't find this Dallas team very talented. I mean, they have guys that can step up. You know, they have their Dinwiddie's of the world and Brunson and all that, but you know, they're not going to really at the end of the day in the 7-game series. You know, when you get to the second round of the playoffs, you're not beating Phoenix, you're not beating Golden State, you're not beating Memphis for crying out loud. So there's another piece missing here. But the question I have is which piece, you know, what is the piece? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they essentially gave up KP, and they got a guy like David Bertans, who's essentially the stretch 4 version of him without the other playmaking side of it. But I mean, they've filled all the holes in. I mean, Dinwiddie's gonna be. He's good. I don't know why they're bringing him on as a 6th man, though. I think it's kind of weird. But when he's clearly like your second most talented player on the team.
Right. I think Phoenix is going to win the series pretty much in 5 or 6 games. I could see Phoenix winning one more in Dallas, and that happens. It's over in 5. Like what we saw, like game 2 was pretty competitive for the most part, but you know that fourth quarter, I mean, they just put on a clinic. When they want to, they can just dominate you, and they're the best. They're probably the best overall team in this entire tournament.
Yeah, when you're looking at inside, outside, all-together game, they're definitely well equipped. The one thing that's so funny is in today's NBA, it's all about driving points in the paint and 3-point shots. And Phoenix is like top 3 in overall offense, and it's predicated mostly on the mid-range, which stat guys will say is the worst shot in the NBA.
Right.
Yet they're so dominant by doing that. But you got some of the best between like Devin Booker, CP3. I mean, those guys are some of the best of all time, you know.
Right. Right. We'll see what
Kris
happens there.
rushing in clutch time right now. I know you guys like to shit on him, but he's
But I feel West real quick. Golden State in Memphis, that's tied 1 apiece. We're actually a John Morant layup in game 1 from a 2-1 Memphis lead. I mean, this has been easily the best series of the first round. Easily.
I mean, you see,
don't be that guy.
The Gary Payton injury, and he was the main guy guarding John Morant, and I wouldn't say put the clamps on him, but you could see his efficiency was a lot worse in game 1 than game 2, and then he gets hurt within the first minute of game 2, and John Morant scores 47 points. So say what you want with that. You can clearly see Clay's lost a step. He just looked so rusty.
Yeah.
I mean, that he bricked one so bad at the end of the game last week and had a bad turnover on top of that, bad travel as well late in the game. I mean, he's coming back, but I just don't see who they're going to put on Morant to slow him down. And when you have him going downhill all game long, it's pretty tough. It'll be interesting. I think the one thing that you can say is that Golden State is such a better free throw shooting team and Memphis has put together some atrocious free throw shooting games in the playoffs so far that in any close game you're gonna swing it towards Golden State just for that aspect. I mean,
you got 3 guys on that team that are 90% plus.
Yeah.
Poole, Curry, Thompson.
Poole led the league. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sick. And the thing with Clay, too, also, I know Clay he looks slower, although he has his moments, is that at least you have another option to go to fill that role, which is Jordan Poole, of course. You know, do you think training camp will help Clay next year? Or do you think this could be this is who he is?
I mean, his game was never predicated on athleticism to begin. He's he's always been athletic, but I mean, he's what you would call below the rim player anyways. Right. So no injury is really going to hamper him. You will see it more in I think him as a two-way player, he'll still be good defensively, but he can't guard 1 through 4 anymore. You know, his days of guarding like a 1 is out the window. Like, I think you can say that for a fact.
Right.
Like in any other year, you would say, oh yeah, throw Clay on John Morant, he's going to give him problems. But now you can't say that anymore. And just no other small guy on that team that really is going to slow him down. It'll be interesting. I mean, I'm not going to say like you can just go ahead and give it to Memphis. I mean, he's put together some good games, but we'll see. I mean, they still need Jaren Jackson not to foul out every single game. You still need, I mean, you have no Dylan Brooks game 3, so that'll be crucial.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
Well, must win, I think, for game 3 for Memphis because you need that buffer that if you win game 3, at least if you lose game 4, you're going back home for game 5. I think game 3 is a must win.
I won't say must win. Like I said, without Dylan Brooks is like yours on any given night, you're either number 2 or number 3 scorer. I mean, he's a crucial part of that team.
Was that justified? Suspension justified in your opinion?
I feel like if Gary Payton doesn't break his elbow, he doesn't get suspended.
Right. I think the reaction on how the injury ended up, right.
I mean, the Draymond Green flagrant 2 was the softest flagrant 2 of all time because you can clearly see he's trying to keep him from hitting the floor. So even when he tugs his jersey down, you can see the okay, fuck, I did that. When he says, oh, my hand got caught, you can clearly see because towards the end, he's literally trying to hold him up off the ground for him not to hit the floor. So right when you see those replays, how you call that flagrant 2 blows my mind.
Right.
Now
Right.
that one is like, I don't know. Like, obviously he's not intentionally trying to smack
What is what
Gary
you motherfucker?
Payton in the
Hold on,
head.
wait. Hold on a second. What is it you two guys with your fucking haircuts now and your spiky fucking hair? I don't get that. Both of you.
Dude, I asked this lady to cut my hair twice and she still couldn't figure it out right. I just gave up. I was like, all right, here's the 15. Here's your $6 tip. Just leave me alone. Hell, first I get in an argument because they want your name, your phone number, your email, and it's like, I just want a haircut. Oh, but we'll give you I don't care about coupons. Just cut my hair. Well,
well, stop going to Supercuts, buddy.
Fuck you. All right, they do a
Fucking
better job than you.
White people barbers. But I haven't been a barber. Honestly, God, I haven't been a barber in 15 years. I don't need to.
You don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. When you lose your hairline at 12.
That's not true though. What a dick.
13.
Real quick, Zach. So we have about 15 minutes to record left. We started off with
Dallas
Phoenix. What stand out to you for in that series?
Luka is a star. He's not a superstar.
Right.
That's it.
Oh no,
Look,
you can't say that.
He is an unbelievable player. As a player, he's a top 5 player. But he is not a team leader or a team winner. Jalen Brunson was able to get that team further without Doncic in the first series than he is able to do now. I mean, you can't even argue it. Look at what Brunson did in the games without Doncic, where everybody was being used on the Dallas bench. And now you look at Doncic. If he passes the ball and it comes back to him, he's never giving it back.
Right.
That's not true. I mean, the thing you can clearly see is they're letting Luka get his and saying, hey, we're not going to double team you. Go up and throw up 30, 40 points, but no one else in the team's going to get a rhythm going, and that's the name of the game. But when you have no other guy, that's what you do.
Here's my question, Zach, and Kris and I were talking about this a while ago. Who is the best fit for Luka? Which second star would fit well with Luka? Because I don't know.
It would be a sharpshooter. It'd be a catch and shoot. It'd be like a Klay Thompson, a guy who doesn't get the ball, but when he does get it, he knows he has to put it right up.
Bradley Beal?
I don't think Bradley Beal's a good enough of a shooter. He's a great scorer.
Yeah, is.
Look, really, what's his 3-point percentage? 36, 37%?
Yeah, but he's creating off the dribble for himself.
But he's not going
to
get the ball to create. That's the thing with Doncic. Doncic controls the ball. So
yeah,
you need guys who operate off of screens or down low.
Bradley Beal, if he's open, he's gonna make them. Like if he's not the number one guy, trust me, he'll be just fine.
He shoots 36%.
Are we
That's
sure about that?
Andrew Wiggins level, and we don't consider Andrew Wiggins a shooter.
Andrew Wiggins does not create for himself and gets wide open looks and makes 36%.
Bradley Beal only creates for himself because he's given the ball. He's allowed to dominate the ball.
Who else do you have there?
It doesn't have to be Bradley Beal. You asked who fits. You need a guy who can shoot off the screens. So, for instance, previously a JJ Redick type would have been great. A Mike Miller even would have been great.
Yeah, but those are not stars, though. He needs a second star.
Otherwise, you need a Clint Capella power forward who can roll off of pick and rolls. But that's it. You can't have a second scorer.
I would say Rudy Gobert be a nice fit, but he's expensive as shit.
Dame
would struggle. They would not work together. Doncic is too much of a ball-dominant guy.
Doncic is actually James Harden.
He is. He's a B-level James Harden because he's not even as good of a scorer. They're both crappy defenders, but at least James Harden was a better shooter. You laugh, but
Okay.
you know it's true.
Okay, we got time to debate it. But we'll debate it later on. Why we joined in, we were talking about Golden State and Memphis, 10-1 apiece. What stood out to you in this series for you so far, Zach?
I would have wished Draymond Green would have walked over to the Memphis bench and warned them, if they put Brooks back on the court ever again during the series, we'll take out John Morant. Like, just straight up, be blunt. Be like, you wanted to be dirty, take a guy out from behind in the air, we'll take out John Morant. He loves to jump. It'll be easy to take his knees out. Like, I went from thinking Memphis was the most balanced team, most loaded team overall, to dude, that was just straight up dirty, and you intentionally tried to take a guy out, and you could ruin his career. Like, that kind of move could end a guy's career. It didn't,
the remorse
but it could.
Way.
Dude, that was so dirty, it wasn't even funny. That was like Draymond Green when he used to kick guys in the nuts.
Right. And it sucks because this has been the best series easily in the second round.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kris, did you really think he was going for the ball on that attempt?
I mean, it's bad.
It was terrible.
I don't know if I'm going to call it dirty. Because at the end of the day, no one's really he's not like he's targeting the guy's head. But, I mean, it is what it is. The point is, only because he got hurt is everyone blowing out of proportion. Because not like undercutting somebody, that's bad. That's the worst play in all of sports. Like, undercutting someone in the air is bad.
And so the only other thing you can do is clothesline a guy while he's in the air. Like, it's the next worst thing. And in basketball, it might actually be worse.
Right. All right, next
you're taking the guy out at the top with no pads.
Right. All right, next series here. Let's go Miami and Philadelphia. 2-0 Heat. Obviously, no Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid's out for Game 3. I mean, this should end. I mean, I'm gonna still say Heat in 5, but this could be a sweep.
I got 3 takes. 1, Heat have to be the luckiest team in the playoffs as far as everything lines up.
Agreed.
2, James Harden no longer even a star. I wouldn't even put him on star level. I'm talking not even top 25. Yes. I've been able to watch the 2 games. It has been atrocious, his play.
And even if he scores, there's no impact to it.
Yeah.
Like 4.
And the 3rd, Spoelstra is challenging for the 6th best coach in history now. You make it to the finals with this team, you're the 6th best coach in NBA finals or NBA history.
Let me stick around with Spo these days. I like it. It's good. Nice. Makes me happy. Kris?
Made me have to study history.
I mean, it really sucks because this was going to be a really good series. And I was like, okay, he tears his thumb. Damn, that kind of sucks. And then that happens. It's like, well, there goes the whole series. I mean, there's nothing else to it.
Huh?
I mean,
5 games.
The Heat are essentially like, when it comes to depth, like the Grizzlies of the East, because they're just really deep.
Yeah.
Some guys off, you throw the next guy in.
I mean, if Middleton misses, say Milwaukee were to pull it out against Boston, which I don't even think they do. But now you're without Middleton, so it's just Giannis. So that works in Miami's favor. Like, Miami is getting a cakewalk, I think.
It's just an MCL sprain. I don't think he's missing an entire series.
Middleton will be back for the Heat. If assuming they get to the conference finals, I think Middleton will be back for that series, honestly.
Yeah.
And what do you think he's going to be playing at? 70% maybe?
Middleton's a Heat killer through the years. So, look, that guy's like Danny Green to me. Like, gives me nightmares.
Wow.
Talk about the worst. Danny Green trash right now. Last game.
Yeah, look, during those Heat days when he was with the Spurs, holy cow. He almost single-handedly won them the first series. He may be out of the league
pretty soon, dude.
They it's crazy because like Tobias Harris has been crushing both games.
Oh yes, he has. He stepped up.
Tyrese Maxey's been playing pretty good.
What a heart.
Harden's not playing bad, but he's just not playing up to the level that he's used to. And he's
playing as a mid-level point guard now. He's not even a top line point guard facilitator. He's mid-level on it.
All I know is that those contract negotiations between Daryl Morey and James Harden's his reps is going to be so fascinating, dude.
Dude, I don't even think the owner would allow an extension. I think they're going to say you can opt in on your 1 year, and if you could prove to us you're back and healthy, we'll give you a new extension.
The thing is, there's always going to be a market for guys because at the end of the day, you're always going to see desperate teams like the Nets who's going to give you a max contract if you're available because they're so bad and desperate. So
I disagree. I think he's coming up on Carmelo level.
Well, we have a lot of time to talk about that, James Harden and his future, because, I mean, they should be out of the playoffs by the end of the weekend, so we'll see what happens there. All right, finally, you touched on it a little while ago, last series, Bucks, Celtics tied at 1 apiece. What stood out to you guys in this one?
They're doing a good job on Giannis, that's for sure.
In both games, really.
Yeah. I mean, we got to see if someone's going to step up and really fill Chris Middleton's shoes. And if someone does, then the Bucks pull it out. If not, it'll be a long series. That's for damn sure.
The fact they blew him out in game 2 without Marcus Smart was pretty sick.
Yeah, I want to have to ask Kris this real quick. Who the hell is the coach for the Celtics?
Ime Udoka?
Yeah. Holy shit. I did not realize that guy was that good of a coach. Because, I mean, it's team defense. That's what they're doing. They're using team defense to shut down Giannis.
Yep.
And that's all you have to do. Just you worry about shutting down Giannis, and you're okay. Because all that's left is what? Jrue Holiday, who is not a great shooter. Grayson Allen ain't a shooter. I mean, what do you have? Covington? Maybe Covington can score you 25 on a freak night, but that's it.
Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 points. Way to go.
Yeah, that's a stretch. You need Jrue Holiday to fill in and then some.
I mean, Brook Lopez is shaking off the rust right now, so he could be that guy to kind of fill in some scoring. So
I think it's showing two things. Giannis is clearly the number 1 player in the league.
Well, question.
Flat out. I mean, he's got separation now.
As you said last week on the Zack of the podcast, there's a gap now between Giannis and everybody else.
Yeah. And Tatum, that man is making a mark.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to see what Brown did, Jalen's proven he's the most underrated player in the NBA.
Right. I want to say these last 5 minutes for this topic for the show, the main event here, the main topic here, is something I saw on the internet a couple days ago and it really got me thinking. I mean, I think we know the answer to the question, but I think there's a lot more nuance to the question. Who would you want on your team in the next 5 years? John Morant or LaMelo Ball? I think we all agree John Morant's the answer, right?
Yes.
I do think it's a lot closer than you think, though.
No!
It is.
This is why I want to beat both of you.
Go ahead.
Lord, I want to take a wiffle ball bat to the side of your heads for thinking this. It's not even close. Let me start naming young players, and then you tell me when Ball is there. Tatum, Morant, Zion, Jaylen Brown.
Okay, but that's not the question, though.
Trae Young.
Okay, so let me defend my
the wrong
position.
Guy.
I don't know. I would probably take LaMelo Ball's 5-year trajectory over pretty much everyone on that list except for maybe Tatum and Morant.
One concern of John Morant.
Take him over Trae Young.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. Trae Young had a bad year this year.
At this point,
he had a bad year, and he carried his team to the playoffs in the second half of the season.
His size and his defense are always going to be an issue.
Bounce back next year. This is why I say 5 years. Here's my issue. Look, it is Ja for me right now, obviously. But here's my concern. And now, granted, Ja is doing those things right now. Ja is adding to his game. If that 3-point shot, he's not a great shooter, but he can hit it. You know, if he can continue making those shots with more consistency going forward, he's going to stop. My question is his style of play is still very much like Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook that you wonder is this year the peak of John Morant? Like, could he get better than this, actually?
Absolutely.
Only if he adds to his game. LaMelo Ball has a more of a diverse game than I would say than Ja Morant right now.
Oh, I don't think so. Not at all. He doesn't have the athleticism. He doesn't have the shooting prowess. He disappears for weeks on end with this team. He allows teammates
it's also a worse
to
team
than
Memphis too. Charlotte is not even close to as good a team as Memphis is. And I think also too the thing is, will Ja Morant beat this guy in 5 years?
I think the only thing Ja has to work on is that free throw shooting, because when you stay in the 70s like that with a style where you live in the paint, if you can't capitalize on 3-point plays and your free throws, this is always going to hinder you. I mean,
right.
So, like, every time I see like a bad free throw shooting thing, I always think of like the Memphis Tigers and like Derrick Rose and them choking away that championship by missing free throws constantly, and just it always does. It always happens. Like, you have to hit the free throws. You have to. They're called free throws for
right. Again, it's Ja. It's just that some of the dynamics of his game though concern me though for the long term. That's why I said that the key was 5 years.
I mean, so in 5 years, what is LaMelo Ball going to be better at than Ja?
He's probably going to be a solid player, right in that cusp.
I mean, his ceiling is Luka.
Lower.
Who?
It's lower.
Wait, whose ceiling is Luka?
LaMelo Ball.
No way. Not even close.
That's his ceiling.
You're insane.
He's not going to reach the ceiling.
Look, his ceiling is Stephon Marbury. Okay, that is his ceiling. That is LaMelo Ball's ceiling. Stephon Marbury.
I just think my concern with Ja is solely the injuries, solely his body being able to withstand all his style of play, obviously too. Whereas LaMelo Ball, like, he'll be steady. He'll be steady, like Tim Duncan's steady. Well, Ja Morant's high now? Will he get better than this? Will he sustain this? Will he add to his game? So it is Ja, but I think it's definitely a conversation to be had about, okay, who's the more steady one in 2027, 2026?
In 2026, 2027, LaMelo Ball will still be trying to make it through past the first round, if he can even get to the first round with the team.
He just needs to keep his efficiency up with the same volume he's putting up right now, and
he's not efficient. He's not efficient. Ja Morant is efficient. Like, you're expecting a guy who's 22 years old to fall off a cliff in 5 years, Ernest. Yet you think a guy who's 21 is all of a sudden after 3 years in the NBA is gonna make some Superman leap. Like, I don't get it.
No, I don't see LaMelo making a leap. But my question is, will Ja Morant sustain this high level play in 5 years based on the way he plays basketball? That's all.
Okay, so if Ja Morant even took one step down, just one level down, you know what he is? He's still 3 levels above LaMelo Ball.
Zach, all I'm saying is this. There is precedent. We saw Derrick Rose do this in the first couple of years in the league, and then he fell off due to injuries. I pray to God Ja Morant does not do that. But
and who were you putting up for comparison against Derrick Rose during that time? Nobody.
Yeah, you have that. You have, to a lesser extent, because Russell Westbrook was the prototype I used with Ja Morant. Russell Westbrook lasted a lot longer, obviously, but he didn't add to his game, and eventually you're seeing it now. But Ja,
you've already seen Ja add to his game. Westbrook never has added to his game. Yet you've already seen Ja add to his game.
Again, if that 3-point shot is, I'm not even saying he has to be Steph Curry good as a shooter, but if he hits that shot with much more consistently going forward, he is unstoppable, and he's going to be a top 5 player in this league. That's all I'm saying. So last thing, I have to go record one more podcast. Tyler Herro, 6th man of the year.
Oh, get out of here. That was a given.
Heat MVP?
Yep, I agree.
Well, here's the thing. What is his role next year?
He's the starting point guard.
Like, most young players that win that award don't stay on the bench next season. So what is his role next year? You're gonna
I don't
bench
know.
Lowry at $30 million a year?
Yes. I would trade Lowry.
You can't. There's no market for
Yes.
the contract.
So what? Look, they have been grooming Herro all season to take over as the point guard. He will be the starting point guard next season.
Well, Spoelstra does do position lists. Even though you have a point guard in Kyle Lowry, I mean, all 5 guys in Starline could carry the ball up, including him.
Yeah.
So, and look, he's been doing this shit since before, even when LeBron was down here. So,
I mean, it'll be interesting to see who gets taken out of starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Lowry.
Look at Victor Oladipo. His career is coming back.
Oladipo will be gone. He won't be a member of Miami. He will not be a member of Miami Heat beyond this year.
Exactly.
Because they'll get a big for else.
Unless he decides, you know what? I love Florida with its no state income tax and
he's a
$10 million.
And he was on The Masked Singer. Like, he wants more than that. He wants a big market. South Beach is that market.
He deserves it.
Yeah,
he deserves it.
It just won't happen this year.
If the roster stays stacked, who's you just move like Gabe Vincent and Max Strus like to the bench, and now you have a stacked starting lineup and no balance.
Well, he right now under the salary cap right now, so they're in a situation right now where they have a lot of time to think about this. You know what I'm saying? But they can lean on development as they have for the last 6-7 years now. Post LeBron, they are the best team at developing players in the league. It's not even close.
Absolutely.
Now. It's not even close. And that's where Spo separates from everybody else in the league. Because that's not a Pat Riley thing. Because all this developing G League players and stuff, Pat Riley's against that shit. Pat Riley wants veterans and fucking stars. Spo is the other way around, man. That's why I tweeted yesterday on social media that Riley getting all the credit. Pat Riley has been for the last 5-6 years a figurehead. That's it. That's all he is.
I agree.
Spo develop Beasley, Michael Beasley.
Huh?
How do you do developing Michael Beasley?
I mean, you can't say
he taught him how to use a bong. I mean, he did some development for the kid.
I mean, he was decent. He was actually
Maybe
decent for a couple
good
years.
at evaluating talent. I don't know if I'm going to say that they're great at developing the players.
Yeah, but no, right.
So
but
you have one miss, Kris, and you're like, oh, they're not good.
But that's also
one miss on development.
But Kris, also that's also pre-LeBron. I'm talking about post-LeBron. Like Hassan Whiteside was actually a good player. He was a fucking knucklehead. So, you know, they've been doing this for a long time now. So anyway, I gotta go. Great pod as always. Sorry I couldn't do it on Tuesday. I was under the weather. I'm a lot better now today, so I'm busy. Guys, you guys get haircuts, buddy. Both of you guys get haircuts. Go ball like me, man. Come on, what the fuck?
I'm trying.
Yeah,
on purpose. Trying.
You make fun of hairlines. Look at yours. Jesus Christ, bro.
I know. I still got hair. It's amazing.
That's great.